50-50.
And with more reaction, we bring in Dave Dulio, Director of the Center for Civic Engagement at Oakland University. And thanks for joining us, Dave. I know on this subject we'd like to get in touch with you regarding what you think going forward will happen from here. Do you think the president will stay in the race?
Oh, I think so. I think that, despite some Democratic worries about a second presidential campaign or run for reelection for Joe Biden, I think he's in this for the long haul. This announcement is something that he's alluded to for a long time. So it's not really unexpected.
And, we just talked about these polls that show, 55% of Democrats, support Biden running for re-election and such, but many more would probably vote for him if he is, of course, the nominee. And, usually people in both parties sort of fall in line, on election day. How much do you read into those polls, in terms of excitement and do people just sort of accept it eventually?
I think that's accepting it is a good way to put it. The polling that's out there is it's always worth it to take whatever polling that you're looking at with a grain of salt, and know that it's just a snapshot in time, that it can and will likely change dramatically, even in a short period of time. So while the CBS polls got 55% of Democrats saying they want him to run again. There are others out there that show a large majority of Democrats don't want him to run. Similarly, on the Republican side, that large majorities of Republicans don't want Trump to run. And where we end up with this is that, if it's a Trump-Biden rematch, it's going to be incredibly disappointing to a lot of Americans. And I think that, that could be that will play a role in how the campaign is waged.
And you said it's incredibly disappointing to the majority of Americans. Why do you think that things have not changed? So many people have said, they want younger blood. They want someone who's, more that can bring the parties together. And we still have two very polarizing individuals. What would you say about why do you think that is?
Yeah, and I think that there's two different reasons for the Democrats and Republicans here. One, on the Democratic side, Joe Biden is the incumbent. He is running and campaigning from a position of strength. There are no major Democrats who are probably going to challenge him because of that, right? Who on the Democratic side is going to challenge a sitting president, aside from the names that are out there like Robert Kennedy Jr., right? Really not a terribly serious challenge for Joe Biden. So it's incumbency on the Democratic side. On the Republican side with Trump, he's still got an incredibly loyal base, and his supporters remain with him. And we'll see if Ron DeSantis or some other Republican can eat into that support and maybe provide an alternative.
And what do you think this race will ultimately boil down to?
The general election, I think, Mike mentioned in that report that age is a concern on both sides. So if it's Trump and Biden, age is out the window as a defining issue, right? Because they're both up there. I think it's far too early to tell what the main issue is going to be, a year from now or 15 months from now when we're really into the general election phase. And it's a safe bet that the economy is going to be up there, along with some other issues that are sort of tried and true presidential election issues. But at this point, too early to say.
All right, Dave Dulio with Oakland University. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
WWJ News Time is 7:30.